Hey everybody, it's me, Vic. Today I wanted to talk about Streamer.bot and chat commands, especially with TikFinity and across other platforms such as Twitch and YouTube. Now, I do want to preface with Twitch and YouTube are extremely easy to set up because you can do it in one go, but TikFinity is a little different. So let's go ahead and jump into that. All right, so I'm going to pull up Streamer.bot here. Oh wait, where's the one I minimized? All right, there we go. So on Streamer.bot, right, like when you first go in, it's going to ask you to set up and configure everything. So you can choose what you want to select, and I'm still learning it, right? So I'm not a pro by any means, but you know who is? There's Nutty. He's created some amazing things. As you can see, I'm using his title updates as well as his quick bar, which is very handy. But I'm also learning to create my own stuff. Now, I did have other ones here, and I did do a test live just to see if URLs would work. Currently, they do not with chatbots. So we're gonna probably create one for TikFinity here. Wait, I think I did lurk, right? I need to make sure it works. Like, I have, okay. Okay, it is doing the @ but that's with TikFinity. Let me try this one. It's a social. Okay, that one's working. Now, there is a resource that you are gonna want when it comes to TikFinity, which is this thing here. And also, you're gonna, for me, I think downloading the TikFinity app is a lot better and having it run in the background as opposed to having a web browser open. So if you would like to do that, I think it would be probably wise. And if you're gonna look at Chatbot, right? So Chatbot has a lot of different things going on here. You can even use TTS Speak if you want, and surprisingly, Streamer.bot does it for you. I don't do all of that, right? Because the last thing I want is somebody to say something and then the bot repeats it and it's not appropriate. So proceed with caution on that. One hopes that when you build a community, they're not toxic. And unfortunately, there are some trolls that go into different platforms. It could be TikTok, it could be YouTube, it could be Twitch, it could be wherever you are. So if that's not what you're about, you know, obviously you need to have moderation tools to prevent that. And I would say, if anything, chat's great, right? Like when you're live, you have a great, healthy community. They're really not about that. But the one person that comes in and ruins it, yeah, you got to take the time to ban them or have a moderator take care of that for you while it's happening. One of the reasons why I removed multi-chat was for that reason, because I didn't want all of that showing up at the bottom and then like they think it's funny to put those things in the chat. I'm addressing it because it's a very real thing. And you could create like, I guess, somewhat of like a shield mode by literally toggling on and off that widget if you have a Stream Deck, a Stream Deck Plus. There's a virtual Stream Deck if you have Stream Deck Mobile. Like it's very, very handy. Anyway, we're getting off track here. Let's go back to action and events and all this fun stuff, right? So I created one called lurk because you can basically hit command and lowercase lurk, right? All together. And what it's going to do is it's going to create this beautiful little widget that, or I'm sorry, not a widget. It's going to be a chat command and it tells you @so-and-so is lurking and we'll see you soon, right? So in other words, I know that they're watching, but like they're just not going to interact and chat. And that's totally fine. Some people, they'll just go and watch. Like I doom scroll, I don't interact. So it happens. And that's why I created this, right? So if you're wanting to create something as far as a chat command directly with TikFinity for TikTok, you're gonna go into what is the name of the action in TikFinity. You can do it on the browser or you can do it in the app. Personally, I prefer the app just because it's a lot easier running on my background instead of having another browser tab open. And then you're gonna select Chatbot message. And I put, is lurking in the shadows. We hope to see you again soon. So I know they're there, they're just not gonna interact, and that's totally fine. We love our lurkers, definitely. Anyway, that's it. That's all you need to set up. You can set it to whatever screen it's going to appear on, and then it'll just give that message that they are lurking. And in this case, I think I chose screen 1. I thought I did screen 2 for them, but it's screen 1. So that's that, right? I'm going to hit cancel because I've already edited this. Now, under the command, right, I'm going to actually, who is able to use this command? To everyone. I want everyone to be able to use the command lurk. And then I'm going to put commenting a command, and then the exclamation point and the word lurk. You don't need to put anything here. You just need to select your trigger. So in other words, you go to your trigger event and you select lurk, right? What we created. And then you would just hit save. I'm going to hit cancel because I've already got it set up. And then when I run this widget, it'll tell them that they're lurking on my stream. And that's pretty cool. I like it. Now it's simple. That's just directly with TikFinity, so you do not need Streamer.bot for it, right? But if you wanted to trigger a Streamer.bot event, well, then that's going to be a little bit different. So this is where it goes into the dialog, and this is going to be the TikFinity.0.1/streamerbot-integration. This guide tells you how to set up Streamer.bot to be integrated with your TikFinity account. In other words, I can use my Stream Deck, push a button, and it's going to post it to the chat. So that way I don't have to like say it. I can just push a button and be done with it, right? So what I did, because you cannot post URLs unless like you physically manually type it in your chat. You cannot post URLs in your chatbot. So I learned that the hard way because I was like, my Discord link wasn't working. And I think that that's an important thing. Like if you have a server or, you know, a platform or something that you're on, I think it's important for them to know I'm available here. Every now and then, you know, I hang out with my Discord community. Lately it's been a little quiet, but you know, every now and then we have some fun moments. All right, so you're gonna have all of these commands right here that tell you what you can use when you're using Streamer.bot with TikFinity, right? So you can do your user ID if you're going to at someone, for example. It basically tells them their numeric TikTok user ID number, like the user whatever number, long extended numbers after it. Or you could do their username, right? And it'll do their @ handle or their nickname. Me personally, I would go with nickname. And the reason why, I don't feel like somebody's full name should be exposed on my stream if I have a chat widget going, right? Even if I don't have a chat widget going, I think that they'll be able to understand that I'm replying to them in the chat without me having to actually @ their full name. Like that, it's kind of creepy. And then you could even do their picture URL if you wanted. Again, I wouldn't do that. I would just do the nickname and move on. You can do command parameters. I have not found a need for this yet. It is written for a command though. I haven't played around with that. So that's like the next thing I probably want to try. You could do a gift ID. So like if you have a Streamer bot where it's kind of like an auto thank you for the gift kind of thing. If like you're so busy in the game that you can't really respond. Although the way that I have my stream set up, I see the little alerts, so I'm like, aw, thank you, right? Because I see it and I'm like, okay. I think that that's an important thing, right? You want to validate that someone is there doing something of a kind gesture. They don't have to do it, right? So you're wanting to say thank you. So for me, I would not be using this, but somebody else might, you know, maybe they want to just do a response in the chat and say thank you and then just like carry on with what they're doing. And then there's the gift name, right? So like if they send you a gift and it tells you what kind of gift it is, you could do that too if you wanted. Even coins, you could see how many number of coins are sent on a gift event. I won't be using that. Like it'll just tell me the alert of who's doing the gift. It does a little alert and then, you know, that's it. So for me, that's a lot easier because I can hear it. There's a repeat count. So you could see that somebody's done a repeat on the gift. There's a like count, right? So like if somebody wanted to see how many likes you can actually have that posted in the chat. I won't be doing that because again, I have an alert that does that and I actually changed it up. I was displaying it on a stream earlier. I did a test stream and it's a cute little thumb with a little heart coming from it. It's so cute. All right. And then there's the total like count. It's like when somebody, and I think that still stays on my regular one where it displays it like an alert, how many times somebody has liked the live. And I think that's a really cool thing because it says summed up and it's a really cool thing that's automatic built in with the likes alert. So I'm not too worried about that one, but you know, everybody's different on what their needs are. There's a sub month. So it's for sub events, right? I have not done a sub event, even on Twitch or TikTok or YouTube for that matter. I don't do that. Like I appreciate when people do sub. The only place that you can sub for me would be on Twitch, but you know, I'm grateful either way. It's just, I'm always happy when people hang out. I don't always get to do the content because I have to like play around with it a bit. So there will be periods and breaks where I don't make content, right? And so I was excited to do this because I've been testing out Streamer.bot for a couple of weeks, right? And I'm like, okay, I need to crack down and learn a couple of things. And so we're going to just do the chat commands. I know we're getting there, but these are important for like TikFinity users, right? There's an emote ID. Personally, I mean, if you're going to be posting emotes, you probably see it in the chat when you're reading the chat. I wouldn't find a use for this, but somebody else might. And then there's the emote image as well. So again, I don't have a need for it, but somebody else might. And then for me, this is where the chats come in handy for TikFinity. And we're going to actually create one. I just need to copy what I was going to do. So I have one for my socials. And we're going to go into Streamer.bot. But if we want to look here, we do want to make sure we're paying attention to the TikFinity guidelines. And it says here that you're going to go to core, argument, and set argument. Usually when you're doing a command in Streamer.bot, you need to create a trigger. But with TikFinity, you do not need to do that at all. I was kind of scratching my head for a while on this one, trying to figure out, I'm like, I don't see where this is, but it's a sub action. So you would not be using the triggers here. And so let's go ahead and pop over here to Streamer.bot, right? And I have two videos going right now at the same time. And so what I need to make sure is that it's viewable for both. So give me just a second. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna make it longer. Okay, that's good. All right, so I have my TikTok commands, right? Now, you can create these folders. I know it seems kind of weird, like, hey, I don't see that in the dropdown. Where did you find that? So we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go to add. You can actually clear that out, type in whatever name for the group, and it'll label it to the group. And in this case, I'll just call it TikTok, right? Just to prove a point. And then we're gonna call this socials. And so it'll create a little subfolder for you. So I'm actually going to delete that because I don't need it there. I need it under commands because it's a TikTok command. So I'm going to go to add, and I am going to call this TikTok and then socials. And I will probably create the same thing for my other platforms here, and we'll go over that as well because it's easier to do it on Twitch and YouTube than it is TikTok because you need TikFinity to do it. So that's what we're doing first is the TikFinity version, and then we're going to do the Twitch and YouTube version. So you don't need to change anything else here, right? You don't need to select anything here. You just put the name in, you select your group or create a group, and then hit OK. You do not need to come here and create anything, right? Even though you see core here, this is not the area that you need to be in. You need to be in sub actions for TikFinity. So you're going to go to core, you're going to go to arguments, and you're going to set arguments because this is what the guide is telling you. Core, arguments, and set arguments. And then what we're going to do is type in message. So before I do that, the value is actually in the message. And so I'm basically telling you, this is where you can find me on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Discord, and X. And that is my handle, right? Now, I thought it was cute to put the little arrow in there, but that's me. Everybody's different. You create your own style of communications and commands and all that fun stuff. So the next thing I need to do is put message in here, right? You see how it says it in quotations? So like, if you're really bad at spelling, just copy paste. Click OK. So the next thing it tells you is you need to add one more thing to it. So it says core, C#, execute, C#, and code. This is the code that it's telling you to copy. And then it says copy and paste the following code and click save and compile. So what it wants you to do is come back here to sub actions. You're going to go to core, C#, execute, C# code, and everything that's here, you're going to delete and you're going to paste what the code is. Then you're going to save and compile. So once you do that, then your code is set up. And so your socials will be set up. So when you, for example, I'm going to come here. I'm going to create a new Stream Deck action. I'm going to pull up Streamer.bot. You do need to download the Streamer.bot plugin to do this. Oh, I have to hit the dot. Duh. And it's an action. Everything is pretty much simply in action in Streamer.bot, unless you're doing like a toggle, like a switch on and off, or if you need to see a status indicator. But I don't use these two. I just use actions. So what you're gonna want to do, right? It says set argue and all that stuff. I don't worry about all that. It just says Streamer.bot any connection, right? And so what I'm telling it is I want it to select any connection because I have my Streamer.bot. I could select Streamer.bot, like that shouldn't be an issue. I can select whatever I need here, but I'm going to put any connection. And then my action, I'm going to scroll down and look through my sub actions, or actually just my actions right here. And I am going to look for my socials, right? And that's it. That's all you have to do on the Stream Deck. And so what I'm going to do, because I don't like the icon, I am going to call this, just to make it simple. And I'm going to select the icon. So when I go live, which I'm going to insert the video that I did the little post of the socials here because I was struggling with the URL, you will see that it pops up in the chat and it tells you what it is. Now, I won't actually have the chat on my gameplay in the future, but I will be able to see it. I only had the chat widget on just so that way I could show you that it's working. But I'm excited. I definitely want you to see it. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut into the Twitch and YouTube part of it, right? So that means I'll probably have to create another action wheel so that way I could create another action for Streamer.bot. But for my Twitch and YouTube commands, so I don't get them mixed up, this will be TikTok and this will be the other two. So what I want to do is drag an action wheel over here, and I'm just going to leave it like that for now because I don't need to really do anything else in Stream Deck. And then we're going to create some additional commands here. So for my socials, right, all I have to do is just come here, copy this message, hit cancel, and then I can go ahead and click on add. I can select my group, and then I can type in socials. Now, on the other platforms, I can actually put a link. Am I gonna do it? I don't think I need to at this point. Now that I know that I could just put the names and where to find me, what my handle is, you'll find me. So let's go ahead and do that, right? Now under socials, I'm gonna go to triggers, we're gonna go to core, and this one we're gonna go to commands and a command trigger. And then it's gonna say any command, and we could choose the Discord one I already have, but I don't need to do that, right? So we're gonna create a command. And this one is going to be socials. So I'm gonna label this social. Command, exclamation point, socials. Oh, I should probably put an S there. All right, and then I'm gonna see where Twitch is connected. We're gonna also select YouTube. And then we're gonna click on okay. And then we're gonna click on okay. Right, so we're gonna trigger this to go to YouTube as well as Twitch when we are basically having anybody hit exclamation point socials. Now it's a little different. I will probably have to manually toggle that one for the TikTok. Like I had showed you could do it with Lurk, but with the way TikFinity is, it gives you like 5 events that you can do and then it makes you buy. Right, so you have to purchase in order to do more commands. And if I was to do that, I could technically have it run the way that I'm doing right now with Twitch and YouTube, but then I would have to pay to do that for TikFinity. And I'm not gonna do that, right? So I have like one custom command directly with TikFinity, and the others I can just manually push the button in case anybody asks me. I can literally just toggle on my Stream Deck and be like, hey, yeah, you can find me here. So now we're gonna go to sub actions. And what we're gonna do is select Twitch, and we're gonna go to chat, and we're gonna click on reply to message, right? And then so this is what it's gonna say. These are my socials. This is where you can find me. And then same thing with YouTube. We're gonna click on send message to channel, and then that's it. So if you wanna follow it, see, we have the same thing to the Discord. This one actually lets me put URLs in the chat. And it's gonna have the same type of setup, right? So if we look, here it is, exclamation point socials, exclamation point Discord. So it's very simple to set up chat commands using Streamer.bot. It is one of the most easiest things to do. The other thing is you are going to, and I'm not gonna go into my server clients, but you are, and it tells you step-by-step on Streamer.bot how to set up your WebSockets, but you do need to have them set up and active. I would always have it auto, but everybody has like different numbers, like their IP address and stuff in there. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna click on those. if you ever needed to check your action queue, you could. I know that there's a lot of things here, but commands is really where you're going to see all of the custom commands you're creating. And I love it. It's a very, very simple thing. I probably need to rename this. So we can edit this real quick, right? And I could actually lowercase exclamation point socials and click OK. So there we go. We see socials and then we see Discord. And you can make a quick change like that without having to go in and delete something. And I just showed you how to edit it really quick on the fly. So that's pretty cool. There's some integrations. So I clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, so here you go. You got Elgato, Streamer.bot website, stream elements. You got your settings, right? So you can come here into the user interface if you want. You can change things to be a specific way, like your comment color, you could keep it white. Your sub action disabled color, you could change that if you wanted to. I leave these things from the beginning the same way. The only thing that I check is minimize to trace. So like if I minimize this, it doesn't close out. Everybody's different on their needs. You got your viewers, so you could actually see who's viewing your channels. The only ones that don't show up with integration here is TikTok. If that were the case, I don't think TikFinity would exist. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So these are all the actions, right? Like this right here is one of Nutty's tools where I can actually come and update my, it's pretty cool. You can come in here and you can update all of your streams. So like if I were live right now, I would actually be able to refresh and see all of my stuff here, and I would be able to update all of the titles. Some of the Nutty's tools do require Streamer.bot. So if you're using Nutty's, he actually has this really helpful like startup guide. I definitely recommend watching it or reading it because it is very helpful. And I'm just doing basic stuff. It seems intimidating at first, but it's actually not. It's very, very easy. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you everybody for watching.